Welcome back to another episode of Unveiled. I'm your host, Imam McKinney. This podcast is all about the wedding industry and the people who make your wedding day special. Today, I have some friends, the owner of Beachy Photo and Film, Liv and Isaac Beachy. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Happy to be
Finally,
here.
we got through that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, tell the viewers in that camera right there what you do and what you guys offer.
So we are a husband and wife photo and film team. So I'm the photo dude. She's the video chick. So together we shoot weddings. And
Let's make it work, huh?
make it work. Yeah. Blanked out on that. But yeah, we do photo coverage, the wedding film, ceremony film, speech film, and some other fun add-ons.
Nice. So let's dive all the way to the beginning. How did this come to fruition for you?
Yeah, so it started back maybe 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
We did the first wedding together. We were just dating then.
Yeah.
But she was always there. It was more of my thing. I was doing photo and she kind of tagged along and just took some other second photographer photos, and then phased in a couple years getting into it, started shooting highlight videos on top of it. We both would shoot a bit of photo and video.
Yeah.
And then we got married a couple years ago, and that's where it really became like a real thing. Like, oh, we're gonna like really try this and like make this our main thing. So that's when she kind of quit her full-time job. And now she does only video and I do only photo, and so that's how we kind of split things up now.
Nice. So Liv, I want to ask you a question. I bet you it was hard to leave your job. What made you go all in on video work?
Well, I was always there, like helping and taking some photos, some videos here and there. And we were like, why don't we just split it?
Yeah.
Because like I liked doing video. I always thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And so we were like, why not just split it up? And so you can do 100% photo and I can do 100% video.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more creative and fun than my other job, which is nursing.
Right.
So I thought it was more of a fun job to have than being a nurse, but I still do some nursing, but yeah, the video is pretty fun too.
That's perfect. So let's talk about let's move up just a little bit in the process, because it was Isaac Beachy, right? And now you guys moved into Beachy Photo and Film.
Yeah.
So what kind of made you change that name?
Yeah, so once we really it was probably a year into getting married, maybe we realized that like this is more, because before it was really just like a me thing, and she was helping. But then once she became the video person, like that was her whole side of the business. Like she's operating the whole side of video and editing. So I realized it's not just Isaac Beachy Photo, it's both of us together. So that's when we rebranded it as Beachy Photo and Film, because that really harnesses who we are and everything we do.
Right. So what actually got you started to taking photography?
Yeah, so photo started way back in before high school. I was taking pictures with like a little GoPro.
Yeah.
I was strapping it onto little RC cars, and then once the DJI came out with their first drone, I got like an old beat up one off Marketplace, I think, and that's when the first name of our business of what I did was Beachy Aerial. That's what a lot of my friends from high school remember me as, because I was just posting pictures of just random things with the drone. And then my dad got me an old camera, of course, and I think I did a bunch of free shoots and kind of got into it, and people continued to ask. And the first wedding we did together was a free wedding, and that's why I got our foot in the door of weddings, was just I did it with another friend and her, and we did it for somebody for free, and we're like, oh, all right, that's pretty fun.
I think that's how everybody gets started.
Yeah.
You do a whole bunch of free work in the beginning. I did my cousin's wedding for literally no money.
Yeah.
And then it kind of was a snowball effect.
Yeah.
So Liv, when did you start picking up the camera and shooting stuff for yourself, or did he kind of drag you along?
Well, I always say I was like forced into it, because like I went with them just to be like an assistant, and then I think he just probably handed me a camera and just like, take pictures over there.
Yeah.
And then you would do the hybrid and then be like, take some pictures and video over there. And then we were just like, why not do both separately? So
yeah.
So when did you know, I'm actually kind of good at this?
I don't know. I feel like I never really thought that. I think he definitely makes me feel like I'm good at it, because I'm always like, oh, this doesn't look good or whatever. And he also like taught me a lot of what I'm doing now. So I feel like,
I think you always were good, but both of us grew together.
Yeah.
Both of us, as the years went by, we both learned. Both have been doing a lot of education in the past couple of years. Like really seeing your work is just, I think, is when you we've both came
I
to
feel
fruition of
I'm
wow, you're really good at
just
that.
recently starting to love it.
Right.
And like actually thinking it's good. I feel like the first few videos are kind of like, I don't know if I could watch them.
You don't want to go back and watch them.
Yeah, that's everybody's first work though.
Yeah. But now I'm like, okay, like these are good. They're not like cringy or
you're making people cry.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. So you guys coming together as a couple, I think for one, that gives you a better playing field when you're talking to these couples.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that has a better effect? You know, you're a one-stop shop essentially.
Some people, they do say like, we like you guys not more, but we like you because you are a couple.
Yeah.
So we are two vendors in one, but
Mm-hmm.
we're also a couple. So it's like, if it was two vendors in one, you wouldn't be like two separate people.
Right.
But now we're actually married, so we are actually one business and a couple together. So.
Yeah, it's just like one person to communicate with.
Right.
The editing styles are together, and when we're there on the wedding day, we're kind of acting as like one, I guess.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that can be hard, especially for the field I'm in, because I guess now I do know who I'm working with in advance, but if I haven't worked with these people, everybody has different styles.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell my couples too is, hey, I know the photographer has a better, more important job than me, even though we're equally as important. Yeah. But when people come to your house, what are they going to see? They're going to see photos. So I wouldn't say we kind of take a back seat, but we're like, okay, get your stuff. We're going to get our stuff second, and then we're going to get all the stuff that the photographer's not getting. So I think that's how we can incorporate and make the timeline flow better. That way we're not, hogging the bride, taking up time and making sure everything is on schedule. So Liv, I want to jump back into you. What would you say is some pros about you leaving your job? I know you're a nurse, right? Mm-hmm. You're probably 3 days on, 3 days off, so on and so forth. But now you're in it, so you can basically make your schedule.
Yeah, I think it was mentally tough working as a nurse.
Yeah.
Because that's what I always thought I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then once I found that there's a job I actually like to do, and like isn't super
forced,
like mentally draining and actually like fun, and we get to meet like new friends, and it's not like people are actually like hurting all the time or like in a sad area. Like it's a fun area. It's like weddings are positive and they're good, so I would definitely pick going to a wedding than going to a hospital.
Of course. And Isaac, for you, did you have a job before, or have you always done this?
Yeah, so I always had like odd and end jobs growing up in high school, like just random things.
Right.
Like I had a couple like real jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was just a weird transition where through college, you're working through college, and then so the business was always building up. So once we got to the point where we were getting married, she was doing her nurse and I was doing the business side of things. So I was always able to do that, thankfully. So really her being a nurse from the start really allowed us to put a lot into the business, a lot of time. And so that really helped a lot as far as like a smooth transition from college to being married to like fully doing, to fully doing photo and video as a wedding team. So, and I think it was a decently smooth transition.
Right. So I know working as a couple can be tough at sometimes.
Yeah.
Me and my fiance, we own a business together as well. Mm-hmm. What would you say, I guess now that you guys have worked together for a long time, in the beginning, what was like, I can't stand this?
Yeah. I think the roughest part was because in a creative space, you have to have constructive criticism.
Oh, 100%.
And like, that's how we make our work better. So that's one thing we're always continuing working on, is especially when we're working. Like the wedding film is such a big piece, so like we'll always sit down. She'll take notes on different things we want to fix and different things to fix. So I think that's one thing we always kind of butt heads a little bit on, is just taking constructive criticism, not personally.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing back and forth for both of us, is just because everything else, I think we kind of both have realized our own roles, so like that goes pretty well. But when we are working together creatively, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd say he takes constructive criticism very well, and I don't. He's like, you need to change this, and I'm like, no.
Yes.
Like you need to tell me this is amazing first.
Yeah.
And then you can tell me what I need to change, because I'm like, no, this is great. Like, don't tell me what to do. Especially
when, like you said, in the creative space, you work so hard, you think it's awesome. You're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So that's one thing I think I've worked on is giving you the compliments first and then the criticism after. That's one thing I learned.
And that's one thing you have to learn how you can, approach different scenarios.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, she's always right.
Yeah.
But, you just got to pick your
'Cause
battles.
it definitely does have, I mean, being a married couple and then working 6 feet from each other, it definitely, I think we've gotten a lot better at it.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a learning process.
Oh, yeah, of course. So I love what you guys are doing on your Instagram. You are, if the bride or groom are going to your website, you're giving them tips. What are some tips that you can give couples when they're booking or going through the wedding process?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot there. I would say, number one, make sure you vibe with your vendors. I tell everyone that. Because even if it's a vendor that you don't think you're going to spend a lot of time with, they play a huge role in your wedding day, especially a photo video team, a DJ, a coordinator. They're going to spend so much time with you. And just make sure that you guys vibe well. So talk with your vendors, talk with everyone there. And that takes me to the second one is get a wedding coordinator because
that helps.
It helps so much. It helps your vendors' lives. It helps your lives. Those thousands of steps that they're taking are steps that you don't have to take or your mom doesn't have to take.
Right.
I understand it's usually a part of the wedding that's an extra cost we don't really need.
Yeah.
I promise you it's worth the extra cost.
100%.
And it just makes your day better than you could have imagined it being.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
I think one of our favorite tips, this is more for the wedding day, but it's to do a first look.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're strongly against it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think we just love the first look because then it affects the whole day. It makes the whole day go so much better.
Yep.
All the scheduling, you can get almost all your pictures done beforehand.
Yep.
So then you can actually go to your wedding
and enjoy it
and not be taking pictures the whole time while your guests are there.
Right.
So we love pushing that on our couples, do the first look.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's good because for your videos, when we do the first look and they do the vows, we're able to get some sweet shots of them doing the vows with each other that is a centerpiece throughout the whole video.
Yep.
And also just if you think about your wedding day, maybe you're there for 12 hours as a bride and a groom. And if you don't see each other until the ceremony, you guys only get maybe 5 hours together through the wedding. But if you have the first look, you guys get to hang out for so much longer.
The whole time,
and honestly, I used to be against the first look when we were getting married.
Yeah, we were.
And then our photographer talked us into it, and I'm endlessly thankful that she did because it allowed us to have those fun moments.
I second that. You have so much time, especially on the back end of the wedding, where you get to sit down, enjoy your food, enjoy dancing, and it's kind of weird for us because before we were doing first looks and everything, we're like, man, we're go after the ceremony.
Yeah.
And now it's I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. You just get to sit back and document what's happening instead of
you can evenly spread out everything throughout the day instead of cramming it all after the ceremony and before the reception.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
And another thing I like is we have our bride or groom say their vows a couple times on the audio. So when they're up at the altar, they're not stuttering.
Yeah.
I don't like to use that audio in the film. So, make them say it. Now they're like, oh, I'm glad I did this before I got out there. I've seen your guys' website. I love what you're doing as well. So kind of break it down to me or break it down to people that could be watching this. You guys have started a blog for your website and you basically went to all the up and coming wedding venues or wedding venues that have been there in the past. But I think that gives it an awesome perspective for people that are looking for venues. So tell me how you guys came up with that idea to do that.
Yeah. So it's taken a while getting there. A couple years ago, there was a new venue in Kokomo with the venue at Brookstone. I was like, man, what should we do? They were just getting started. I was like, what's something valuable for them and something valuable for our audience? And that's when we came up with a venue tour video where we could go and interview them and just shoot the space. And that way we just have that piece of content to share with our audience and their audience. And so that's when we started a couple years ago. But then really just this past year, we went to around 20 some venues through the end of last year, the start of this year, and did that with all of them. So we could literally see venues that we've worked with and venues we haven't worked with and really see what they want to offer to clients and what they have to offer from our point of view of their space. And then the main piece of content so all those are on social media, and then the main piece of content is the final blog of just our top favorite ones of what we've seen in places that we recommend checking out. So it's been like a huge project that we've been doing. Is just so many hours of driving and talking and editing and filming, and so it's just been really helpful for us though to really see all the spaces that are available, and we're excited to be able to show you all the spaces that are available, because there was so many venues that I didn't even know about throughout Indiana, and there's still so many more. It's still
I didn't know about the use post. I was like, the one you just did with the new like observatory.
Oh yeah, the clubhouse.
I was like, wow.
I know that place was amazing, and that's the thing is like there's still, it's an ongoing project. Like we're still reaching out to venues, but it's been crazy because like there's so many venues I didn't know about, so it's like so fun to bring those to light to our couples here and be like, this is an option. It's not even that far away. So it's been a blast.
As soon as I seen that, I sent it to Grace because, as you know, we're toying back and forth between actually getting married in the States or maybe just doing a destination wedding, taking our immediate family, but one of our vibes is the observatory because it's like all glass, black, it's elegant. That's more so, our kind of speed. So when I seen that, I instantly sent it.
That's awesome. I'm actually happy that already it's like, it's so sick. It's so different than other venues.
Yep. All right. You want to get into some hot takes?
Oh yeah.
All right. Unbiased opinion or bias. What is the best wedding venue you think is out there?
Best wedding theme?
Venue.
I would have to say, honestly, what you're just talking about, I think my favorite one, we've not done a wedding yet, but the clubhouse it's so different. It's so fun. The tent out there. There's so many good ones. We have a list of like top venues when we're like, if we got married again, this is where we get married at. What's yours? I'm curious.
I think, I don't know, like overall, like the venue in Kokomo, we just, like the people there, we've loved working with.
The venue at Brookstone.
Yeah, the venue at Brookstone. I think overall, I've loved working there.
The staff there is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
Yeah.
I'm talking for you, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think the Liston Lodge too is so pretty. Have you ever seen that one?
I'm pretty sure that's like a downtown somewhere.
It's
in Liston. It's in a tiny little.
It's in like a woods.
Oh, okay.
So it's like back in this woods. It's like this huge mansion that they turned into a venue.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's like in the middle of the woods. Like it's secluded. There's like a nice venue in there. You can like stay there.
Yeah.
It is so nice.
It's literally a mansion that's just been continued to be added on to, and then they finally turn into a venue. But just like really creative, different spaces throughout. Like you could. It's kind of like mystical, I feel like.
There's like lanterns, there's a big fence and a pond and like different spaces you can get married at.
It's definitely very unique.
Yeah.
It seems amazing.
Yeah.
So I guess, I'm just going to throw this one in there now that because I'm listening to you guys. What's your take on doing multiple weddings at the same place?
Multiple weddings? I love it. It makes our lives easier knowing the staff going into the wedding.
Yeah.
Knowing, all right, hey, we know where we're going to put our stuff. We know so-and-so is on top of this. We know that they have the game plan for everything. Going to new places are also really fun because you get to see new stuff. But if we can do multiple weddings at the same place, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because recently we did like 2 in a row almost at New Journey Farms.
Yeah.
And we just recently kind of met them. And so like going into it, we were like, we're not even like nervous or anything because we've already been there.
Yeah.
And we already know where we're going to do these photos. And
exactly.
Sometimes we'll do them in a different spot, but like just knowing the people there and working there is so much
that
nicer.
Does make a difference because have you done Vintage Oak in Delphi? So I'm really close with her, and her whole family is the best. And I guess what you're saying is you already know the people going into it. You don't got to worry about it, stress about it. So that's really good. Here's the next question for you. If you can change one thing about the wedding industry, what would it be?
Ooh. I feel like for our wedding, I think there was so many things that we did just because it was the traditional wedding.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have to do this. And afterwards, looking back, I'm like, man, that's so weird. Why did we do that?
Yeah.
So I feel like one thing I would change is just like literally do the wedding, like only do things that actually are meaningful to you.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's something that's been changing a little bit. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. I think sometimes we get caught up in the details.
Yeah.
Like I think I love the details, so I don't really like want to change them, but
Right.
sometimes I think there can be like too many things in like the detail photos and taking too many of them. So I think if we could change that to just like the actual things you're gonna wear, or just not even doing them at all.
Right.
I don't know.
I actually love that you brought that up because that's something we've been talking about. Is like instead of like just getting like the dress hanging up, like getting like actually capturing it in the space that's in,
Or like on the person,
naturally
not like
on the
just getting
person.
it on the floor.
So
Exactly.
like more documentary style based, I think would be cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you guys know Justin Porter?
Yes.
I love his work.
Yeah.
And he kind of preaches about don't do the boring stuff. You know, get it on the person.
Yeah.
You know, get it. You know, her swinging the dress around or doing a twirl or something. Because obviously you can look at it, but
that's where we got that from, honestly.
Oh
so
yeah.
Talking about that.
He's amazing. I think his work is a little bit too crazy for me, but I love it.
You can learn a lot from it.
Yeah, you definitely can, especially with different shots and everything. Do you guys think there is an issue with tagging the word wedding on different things and then hiking the price up?
Wait, tagging the word what on it?
Wedding.
Oh.
Wedding venue, wedding photographer, wedding videographer. For me, I think what we do and what we charge, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But you
that's
guys get what I'm saying.
No, it's an interesting thing because if you were to rent a venue space outside of the wedding industry, it probably wouldn't cost
a third of the cost
near as much. But the one thing I get on the inside of the wedding space and the wedding venue is there's a lot of moving parts for them on like the planning side of it, the prep side of it. But that's true. I wonder, like, especially for the catering side of things.
Yeah.
Because I know catering can be one of the more expensive things that people don't realize that they would see. Do you have any? It's an interesting question, though. Especially since you're in that space right now.
Right.
Like, you're probably seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, because it's like, I can go rent a space on a Friday and not be a wedding, but I guess there is a lot of moving parts. But, I mean, what if we just rent the space and then we bring everything too, though? So, I don't know. It's kind of, up in the air. In your opinion, what do you think is the most overrated trend in wedding photography and wedding videography right now?
There's definitely a lot of trends. I feel like the trends in general, I feel like I would only focus on only implementing like a TikTok trend or something if it actually makes sense for you guys.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of things that like don't do the champagne tower if you guys don't drink champagne.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of stuff like that that's just like just make sure it makes sense for you. Because I know it's like that, oh cool, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That looks cool, let's do that. But it's like if it doesn't make sense for you, then I feel like it probably won't feel right on the wedding day.
Or natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the sparkler exit, like everyone does it, which is great. I think we've been seeing like bubbles more now, which I kind of like. The
bubbles are cool.
Bubbles are awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like people see people doing the sparklers and everyone does it, which is fine. Like they're pretty, but I feel like everyone's doing it. I don't know.
The bubbles are fun. I feel
bubbles
like those are
cool.
See, I think sparklers are cool at night if you can get the right shot.
Yeah.
Bubbles, if you do like a mock exit,
yeah,
like right after they leave the ceremony space or whatever.
Yeah,
because those actually make really cool photos.
Yeah, they look
like petals.
They look beautiful.
Love the like white petals when they're walking down the aisle. Ooh. Those look really cool.
Those are pretty. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can't throw
rice.
You can't throw rice anymore.
Yeah, I think the birds explode when they eat
it. Because they eat so much and it expands, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What if you just seen the bird just explode?
Yeah, straight up like yeah. Literally, if you Google it, I'm about.
Have y'all seen Shrek?
Yeah,
when she's singing.
Picturing. Yeah.
Don't cut that out. Don't put that in there. My voice cracked. Don't do me like that, Amira.
She's highlighting.
I know. But that has been the episode of Unveiled. But before we go, I want to throw it to you guys and tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, Beachy Photo and Film on Instagram. And our website's just beachyphotoandfilm.com. So
and we're on TikTok.
We're working at TikTok, Instagram.
And Facebook.
Instagram. Go to Instagram.
Yeah,
beachyphotoandfilm.com. We post on there twice a day. So
I want to thank you guys again for coming to spend the day with me to chat. That has been the episode of Unveiled. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this content. And we'll see you on the next episode.